to set your personal ambitions, your issues, as always important to you, because they're your personal issues and ambitions. But put unity to restore the Republic above them. And have a faith that if we fix the forms of the Republic, that wisdom can be discerned from a properly functioning deliberative assembly. Go ahead, you got to carry on there? Okay.
The party rules say that they come under the Constitution and the federal limits.
Well, actually, I wrote what's there. I mean, I had a big hand in it, and they erased the line that said that, you know, they got mad at me. They didn't want what's there now.
Okay, I'll look at that again.
Well, what's there now, it's not perfect, but that doesn't matter. At any convention, you can change the party rules, okay?
Well, it's the supplemental rules say that they can't be changed.
Yes, they can. They can be changed at any convention. I wrote them. In fact, the one you're talking about, I was the primary author for that. And the way that came about was I was doing the pre-work for this back in '94, I think. Was it '94? I don't know. I lose track of these things. But a group of homosexuals wanted to put up a booth at the Republican Convention. And they were trying to cite our subservience to state law and the equal access and all that kind of stuff. But they're not an actually protected class like the blacks or women or something like that. And so the party just had a tizzy over all this. It went all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. My position was that the party is not subservient to any state law, and any state law that tries to make them is null and void on its face, is unconstitutional, because party rules are higher. However, I was on the side that wanted the booth, said, why are you afraid of these people? Is anybody going to vote with them? Let them have their booth. What's wrong with that? They're not going to put up dirty pictures. They're going to try to persuade. So I defended their right to persuade, although I didn't agree with anything else. But there was no legal standard, and that's what the Supreme Court ruled, that they had no way to get into a party. Yes, sir.
Do you have any suggestions? This is all aimed at reforming the Republican Party. Do you have any suggestions on how to apply your concept of the principle of the moral high ground, the moral law for independents who don't have a party?
Well, yeah, it applies to the Rotary Club, the church you go to if you go to one, or your neighborhood association. It applies everywhere. Because in every one of these groups, city council, if that's where you're active, any place you're active, you'll see you need a knowledge of parliamentary rules. You need to know how to function inside the political environment. So that's basic training. We were trying to start a group. Didn't really get off the ground yet because we had 50 people show interest. I required them to at least do something basic, like study a little bit. And I think we got 2 or 3 that actually did. I know Deborah's almost there, and yeah, and Jeremy, and there's a few others. But it hasn't quite got off the ground, but we need to train everybody at every venue. Now, gerrymandering, let's say we do get a good caucus going, and we have enough troops to start doing flanking maneuvers. Well, some districts, only a Democrat's going to win. So just like I told you that MasterCard where that overlap, let's take all of our troops and have them in that district go in the Democrat Party. Be a caucus there. Because the battlefield has been rigged. So therefore, we don't control that battlefield, so we need to plan, strategize, and navigate it. It's called party raiding. It's not necessarily a bad thing, because the government, through dishonest forms that tear down the republic, has rigged the electoral districts. And so we take that dirty tactic and use it against them. As we grow stronger, we say, all right, if this area, we now have enough troops to affect the Democratic primary. Let's run a candidate, and we have all of our guys go there and do it. The Democrats do that to us, by the way, all the time. That's what Joe Strauss just did to us at the House. See, it's called divide and conquer. All right? So, yeah, there's always going to be a place, because these tactics work everywhere, because what is natural law? It's the law of life. You know, if you learn how, in business, don't bounce checks, don't cheat, don't lie to your vendors or your suppliers. You know, I ran a business for 20 years. I was always screwing up because I was so involved in politics. But one thing I never did was bounce a check. Never lied to a supplier. When I needed time, I called them before it was late and said, I need more time. Ethics really is a powerful thing in business, personal life, and every organization. The thing is, though, your unity, if you live in a Republican district, that's what I'm talking about. If you can't find the strategic mental maturity, and I call it maturity, to unify with all these folks, to operate inside, no matter how repugnant the people currently in charge are. Remember, they're the bad guys. We're trying to get rid of them. We need you to join us in the district that you're in to help us achieve that victory. We need your leadership. That's why you're here. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question on your Rule 43 that you were just talking about.
Yes.
Because the way that, I mean, we have, libertarian, green, independent, but let's face it, two-party system.
Right.
If you set up a rule that says if you don't agree with us, we're not going to let you run, then what's that going to do for the people like Ron Paul who are representing a minority that agree with certain aspects of the platform, but just don't want to agree with...
Actually, the platform basically is written by Ron Paul.
But I mean,
Everybody else doesn't agree.
Not preemptive war.
Yeah.
do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
What's
I
it
do
gonna
exactly
do
what you're
for, like,
saying.
somebody
Let me
who's
reiterate.
Getting kind of bullied into a corner to keep them from...
Well, that's the argument
Yeah.
against the Rule 43. Okay, first of all, the Rule 43 is nothing more than information. It says, here's the platform, please tell us. It's information. Do you agree, disagree, no comment, or see a written response? So right now, all it is a information, it's like a survey. But candidates are required to fill it out before their application for a place on the ballot is even accepted. It's just part of it's like filling in your name on an application. So that's what it is right now. And what I was saying tactically, in the future, you can take elements of that platform, okay, and elevate them. I would recommend you elevate them like with a supermajority vote, and you can start attaching discipline. And if you're careful, you got to be careful, because you're right, it becomes another draconian party machine problem. But if you do it correctly, it becomes discipline. That a really troublesome guy who runs in our party because they have the money, it's a rhino, they call him Rhino, Republican in name only. If you have that guy causing trouble and diminishing our ability to achieve our goals, you censure him. And that's a motion that comes out of the Robert Rules of Order. And the results of the censure could be a slap on the hand that you've been censured. Then it can be used in advertising against him in a primary. Or you can censure him and push him out of the party.
But what's there to prevent... I mean, like
You.
the best laid plans kind of thing?
Absolutely.
I get that it's there to keep the power-hungry rich guy from saying, no, I want to run, we'll listen to Republican area.
The only thing is the ever vigilance. The only thing that would keep... See, I'm opening up, what's that called? Pandora's box. I'm teaching people how to have power of we the people. See, everybody thinks that's gone. They don't realize there is power at the lowest level. It's the feet of clay of another biblical quote. All political power is at the bottom, not the top. Okay? If you're able to exercise it. Now, through all of history, the way you exercise it is you kill the guys at the top. French Revolution and all these other things. Okay?
It's a solution.
Well, that's what Stalin did, Mao did. That's what anybody that gets the mob going, they kill everybody at the top. And then they start over, now they're at the top. And first thing they do is take everybody at the bottom's guns away from them. Okay? All right, well, we're not suggesting let's kill them. What we're suggesting is let's discipline them and pull them down from their towers of power. How do you do that? Well, you have to start to do it. How do you protect it from abuse? You. Every time someone's doing it wrong, regardless if you're the only person in the room who thinks so, stand up and be heard. It's amazing what an influence you can have if you'll just get past your fears and say it. I've been in rooms that were rigged by my opponents. Susan Weddington, she abused the rules real bad against me personally, and they had this big meeting. About 150 people stayed to hear this conflict. The executive director of the party, her husband, a whole bunch of people, a bunch of lawyers. They said, "What's this conflict between Susan Weddington and Bob Johnson? I thought we were all good guys." And I said, "No, it's a bad guy. She's cheating." And so we debated for 2 or 3 hours. Okay, and I made my case because I stood up.